welcome to this video of my 24-hour readathon. I discovered 24-hour, or I guess just booktube in general, from Read by Zoe, who is a YouTuber, a booktuber here on YouTube, and I fell in love with the booktube world because of her 24-hour readathons that she would do like 4 times a year. I don't think she does them anymore. And ever since watching those videos, I've always wanted to do the same thing. I've just never really had the opportunity or the time to really just like do it because I do work on weekends a lot. And so now that I have vacation during the holidays, I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to finally be able to do my own 24-hour readathon. Zoe would also do her own rules, I guess you could say. She basically would just try to read as much as she could within a 24-hour span, and that's pretty much what I'm gonna do. I mean, it would be cool if I actually made it reading for 24 hours, but I highly doubt I'll be able to do that because it's almost 7 now. It's a quarter till, and I'm already tired because I didn't sleep very well last night, and I didn't have time to take a nap today, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna read as much as I can, and if I want to take a nap, I will. If I need to do something else, or if I want to do something else, I'll do it. Who knows, maybe I'll listen to an audiobook, because that counts as reading as well. And I'm really happy because a couple of friends from Instagram are going to be joining me as well, and my husband Misha as well. He's going to be reading with me. Who knows if he'll do all 24 hours, but we'll see. So I'm going to start at 7 o'clock, so in like 14 minutes, and go until 7 o'clock in the evening tomorrow on the 27th. And so I just thought I would kind of intro this video on talking about how I'm gonna plan out doing this. I have 3 books that I have already started reading the past couple of weeks, or month, I guess you could say. And my main goal is just to finish them first, to get them out of the way, because I've been reading them for what feels like forever, and I just want to get them done. So that would be Twilight, because I started reading Twilight again since freshman year in high school, and Midnight Sun. And I've been reading them like 1 chapter in each book to kind of just get both perspectives on the same chapter, which has been kind of cool. I normally don't like to read multiple books at one time, but it's the same story, so why not? And I'm about just over halfway in both of them, so that's probably gonna be one of the first books, or the first books that I read. And I also started a Christmas middle grade book well, maybe I'll read that one first, just because it is kind of a holiday readathon, and I do kind of want to stay into this holiday spirit. So I'll probably read that one first, and then I'll go into the other books to finish those, and then I have a whole stack of books that I got from the library. They're all from my library haul video, because it's taken me forever to read Twilight and Midnight Sun, and so I haven't touched any of those books yet. And but my goal is to read as many books as possible within this 24-hour period. And so what I've done is, because I can't choose which one to read next once I'm done with the other books, so what I've done is I've written all the titles on little pieces of paper, and I've put them in the stocking, so once I'm done, I'll just reach in and grab one, and that'll be the next book that I read. So that's fun. So when I was getting dressed today, I was kind of cold, and I want to put on a sweater, but all my sweaters are kind of like in the laundry. And so I grabbed this sweatshirt from Misha, and it's from Reed College. And when I put it on, I had no intention of like putting it on just for the readathon. It didn't like even occur to me until Misha came in the bedroom and was like, "Oh, it's your readathon, ha ha ha." And I was like, that's actually really funny, that's clever. So now I'm decked out in the perfect attire for this readathon, and I hope you will join me. Well, if you're watching this later after the readathon, which you are, maybe this will inspire you to also one day do your own 24-hour readathon. And I'm really excited to see how it goes, see if I end up enjoying reading more than I do now, or if I like end up hating it because I've read so much. I don't know, but we shall see. And what's really exciting is that people are joining me on Instagram, so I'm not the only one, and that's kind of fun. I have 10 minutes, so I'm in jeans right now, and so I think I'm gonna take these jeans off, get into something more cozy, maybe make a tea, and grab a blanket, and then sit back here and just start. So yeah, follow me along. It is now 7, you can't even see it. Well, sort of. It's now 7, so I'm gonna get to reading. And the first book is A Boy Called Christmas by Matt Haig. And as I already mentioned, I've already started this. So I'm gonna finish it. It'll probably go by quickly because it is a middle grade, and I already love it. Okay, bye. It is just past 8:30 and I have just finished A Boy Called Christmas, and I quickly came into the bedroom because Misha took a nap on the couch, so I don't want to bother him by filming this. And this book is really cute. I just like recently started getting into reading middle grade books again, and this book is just perfect for Christmas because it just tells like the backstory of Father Christmas or Santa Claus and some of the traditions, how they came about. Just a cute telling of the history of that. Not the historical accurate history, but just a sweet children's story. And there are really cute drawings and artistry in this book as well, which I really love. And I think my favorite thing about books is when they have short chapters. And this one, I mean, it is a middle grade book, so you fly through it anyways, but I just really love short chapters because it kind of just gives me this feeling of like finishing something quicker, if you know what I mean. So it kind of keeps you wanting to read more when you think, oh, I can read this next chapter pretty quickly. I think I'm gonna give this book a 4 out of 5, mostly just because I don't really like in a story when things have like a slow build up, or like a story just like kind of happens and then at some point like 3/4 of the way into a book the pace just like really speeds up and so much happens in like the last quarter of a book. Because when things like that happen, I just kind of feel lost in the story. Like, wait, what just happened? Wait, how are we 40 years later now? And oh, he's an adult now. Oh, okay, he's no longer 12. Things like that just kind of confuse me. So that's probably why I just knocked a star off. But otherwise, it's a really adorable story, and I'm not sure what I want to do with my future children, if I want to give the magic of Santa Claus or Father Christmas, because I grew up with Santa Claus, believing in Santa Claus, and it just kind of made Christmas a little bit more magical for me. But I don't know if I want to do that for my future children or not, but reading the story just kind of brought back the magic for me a little bit. And there was one sentence that was often written in the book that I thought was really cute. And hold on, let me look for it again real quick. An impossibility is just a possibility you don't understand. because for the elves, the word impossible is like a swear word. Like, you don't say that. That's a bad word, because everything is possible. Nothing's impossible. And I don't know, I just thought it was like cute and encouraging. Yeah, and I just love the cover. I think it's so cute. It has some glitter on it. I don't know. It's just a really cute story. So, I've already had 2 teas, and I'm probably gonna have to go to the bathroom super often when I do that. So, I think I'm gonna start reading Twilight now. And so what I've been doing with Twilight and Midnight Sun since I've been reading them is I'll read like 1 chapter of Twilight. I think I already talked about this. I'll read 1 chapter of Twilight, and then I'll read that chapter in Midnight Sun, and I keep switching back and forth. And so I think that is gonna just like take forever for me to finish those 2 books, because it's not like I'm just like reading 1 book and then finishing it and then moving to the next one. But when I'm done with them, I'll have 2 books down, so I mean, I guess that's a good thing. I'm genuinely curious how long I'm gonna need for that, because just reading like, I don't know, over 100 pages from this book tonight, I needed about an hour and a half. And this is middle grade. This is like with pictures and larger font. I don't know. We'll see how long I need. But I'm gonna go grab it now and then get cozy again. And we'll wait and see when Misha wakes up, because he did start reading before I did. But he was just getting too tired from laying on the couch and reading, so maybe he'll wake up and read with me again soon. It's now just past 11, and I'm still reading Twilight and Midnight Sun. And in Midnight Sun, I'm on like page 510. And I just had some thoughts that I was sharing with Misha about the Twilight series, or just the story, and I thought I would share them with you as well, in case you're interested. And it's so funny to me to like reread this book as an adult now instead of being a freshman in high school. I think something that like really sticks out to me the most is I think Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart played Edward and Bella extremely well. I mean, watching the movie is like sometimes cringe, but honestly it's just because the characters are kind of cringe. Like they're just so in love with each other that it's like weird. I don't know, it's just kind of weird. And Edward, like recently in the story, did something that I just like thought like that's so weird. Like he was playing Bella's lullaby he was playing Bella's lullaby on the piano, and she was like so overcome with emotion that she had tears in her eyes, and he like grabbed one of her tears and licked it. I was like, that's just so, but like it doesn't even like phase Bella, whatever. I'm just like, that's so weird. Like I love Misha so much, but if he licked one of my tears away, I think that would just be so weird to me. And I don't know, I guess the thing that bothers me about Bella is that she's just so unfazed by Edward being a vampire. I mean, that's like something that bothers him the most in the story, is like, why is she not scared of me or like any of this? Like, it's just so not normal. And it's starting to bother me on some points where I'm just like, why do you not care? Because I would totally care. There are some scenes that have really like made me laugh out loud. One of them being when he like first spends the night at her house, and she knows about it. And he's like, oh, breakfast time, like, let's go downstairs and get some breakfast for you. And she, like, out of nowhere, just, like, puts her hands around her throat and, like, looks, her eyes open in terror, and just, like, look at him, and they're like, and he's, like, panics, because he's like, what is happening? And she's like, haha, I'm just kidding, and you said I couldn't act. And he's like, that's not funny. And I was like, it actually made me laugh a lot, just, like, picturing that moment, because it is funny. Like, I'm breakfast, not me. And he's like, don't even start. Yeah, but I am kind of enjoying reading the story again as an adult because it's just different when you're an adult. Because I look at Bella sometimes, I'm like, you're just kind of immature. Like, just being so infatuated with someone that you don't really care about yourself. I mean, that's true to an extent for adults as well who fall in love, but to the extent of like you want to make sure that you're perfect in every way and like that you're always worried that oh my gosh, if I do or say this they won't like me anymore. I don't know, but I do really enjoy the story, and yeah, so I just finished a chapter in Midnight Sun, so now I'm back to chapter 16 in Twilight, doing my little switcheroo, and I think I'll be done not soon. I mean, I'll probably need another couple of hours to get done, but I'll be done quicker than I thought I would be, so we'll see. It's 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm fading. I haven't been reading for like the past like 15 minutes because like once I'm looking at a page, my eyes like start to unfocus. And I looked up a video from Read by Zoe for reference of what she did when she was getting tired or if she went to bed. And she said something, she was like, well, by the last readathon, she did multiple 24-hour readathons. By the last one, she did sleep for like 7 hours. And then she regretted it because she was like, I could have read a book in that time. Why didn't I? And now it's kind of inspired me to want to actually attempt doing all 24 hours. But I don't know if I'll make it because she started at like midnight. And I feel like the nighttime hours are the hardest. Like, this is the time where I'm in bed for sure. Like, I don't stay up late normally. So this is getting hard. So, like, anything past 1 now will just be awful. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a coffee. I don't drink coffee normally. And when I do, I normally don't, like, notice any kind of change in how I function. But who knows, maybe I'll notice it this time because I actually need it this time. So I'm gonna make a coffee real quick and then I'll get back to reading. I just really want to finish the Twilight books because I like in Twilight I have like just over 100 pages left, and then in Midnight Sun like maybe 150, 200 maybe. I just want it to be done. I've also just been debating if I want to read I Will Judge You by Your Bookshelf. It's like a short comic. If maybe that'll help me just like feel like I'm reading more. I don't know. But my bangs were annoying me because they're dirty and I just don't want to wash them right now. Zoe from Read by Zoe, she would like take a lot of baths, but I feel like once I would get in that bath, like if it's warm, I would fall asleep probably. So I have to find things that will help me stay awake. And I think this little break of just like getting up, not sitting down, walking around a little bit, going to the bathroom, whatever, has helped me a little bit. And oh, I gotta make my coffee, hold on. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my coffee, I'm gonna go on the couch this time because I've been sitting on that chair for the past like how many hours. Probably knock out another Twilight chapter. It's the Midnight Sun chapters that just like get me because they're like 40 pages long, and I'm just like, it takes forever. But I kind of like skim through the dialogue because the dialogue's pretty much the same as it is in Twilight, so I kind of just skip over that. I just feel like it's taking so long. I hate long chapters, as I already mentioned. This does not look like the most appetizing coffee ever. It actually looks terrible and I don't really want to drink it. But I'll do what I can to make me happy. Guess who's still reading Twilight? It's just after 2 now. I don't know why I'm doing these like hourly updates, because there's not a lot not a lot has happened in that time anyways, but we're at like my least favorite scene in the story where Bella has to convince Charlie that she has to go, and I hate this scene the most because it just like breaks my heart for Charlie. Like the things Bella says, like obviously in Twilight she is really sorry for it and she doesn't want to say those things, but she does, and it just makes me sad that she had to go to that length to like hurt him that bad just so she could leave. Man, and just like him having to hear like those same words that he heard from his ex-wife who left him, and then seeing his daughter, and just the whole storyline with Charlie like really irks me a little bit. Like I just feel really bad for him as a dad, especially in New Moon where Edward leaves him and then Bella's like depressed forever. He's just so wary of Edward after that and since then Bella has just been like overly emotional and like, I don't know. And so he's just always very wary of Edward and very cautious with him when he does return, and like, I don't know. Every time Bella has to lie to him for something, for like her own decisions, just hurts me. I really like Charlie. He's the best. And it just makes me so sad for him. But yeah, that's it. That's all I want to do is take like a 2-minute break and talk about this. So I'm gonna get back to reading, okay? I look like a hot mess. I just finished Twilight. It is 5 a.m. I can't believe I stayed up this late. I guess that coffee really did work. It's starting to fade now. But I'm almost done with Midnight Sun. I only have like one more chapter and the epilogue left, so like 40 pages or something. And then I'll probably take a nap because I want to do a live at 7, so in 2 hours from now. And so I'll probably need, I don't know, like a half hour to read the rest of Midnight Sun. And then I still want to draw a name for the next book. And then I want to take a nap maybe. But I'm worried that like if I take a nap, that it'll just like totally throw me off. That like once I wake up, my eyes look so dark. No, they don't, but for a moment they did. Like once I fall asleep and I set an alarm, that I'll just be like dead and I won't be able to function. So I don't know if I want to actually just like stay awake and keep reading or take a nap. I don't know. We'll see. Let me finish Midnight Sun. What is going on with this? I don't even know. Oh my gosh, you can hear it in my voice how tired I am. It is 5:45 in the morning. I finally finished Midnight Sun. This was a beast of a book. I don't even know where to start with my thoughts on this. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Twilight, on the other hand, would receive a 5 stars. Mainly just because it's a nostalgic, cheesy love story from my teenager years. And it's just an interesting story. I mean, why not? Midnight Sun, I'm kind of torn. On the one hand, I really enjoy... Wow, I sound so tired. What I think is really cool about this book is that it fills in more details or fills in holes that you don't really get answered directly, or things aren't as detailed in the explanation in Twilight. So this one like really fills out all of the details that are kind of missing from Twilight, which I think is kind of cool to like hear more about it. But it's a 4 out of 5 stars because, and I knew this going into reading this, looking at other reviews, everyone was like, it's a great book, it's just unnecessarily long. And that's pretty much my review. I do love the extra details. I do love hearing Edward's side of the story and his thoughts and understanding him better. But like one sentence in Twilight is like 3 paragraphs in Midnight Sun. And after a while, it's just kind of like, okay. And something that kind of bothered me, not bothered, but I felt like in the beginning when Edward was kind of describing Bella's touch, like how he felt her touch on him, it was always the same description of like a trail of fire. And it was like a trail of fire like 5 different times. Like that was the only description for what it felt like. And after a while I was like, I get it. Okay, it feels like a trail of fire. And those are just like small details that are like, that you didn't have to put that in again. I don't know. But I'm glad I read it. I think it's still a good book. Would I read it again? Probably not. Would I read Twilight again? Maybe, yes. But that's just because it's shorter and this one's just too long. I just don't have the mental capacity to read this ever again. I would not recommend this system that I used in reading these books. I was like, oh, it'd be kind of cool if I like read one chapter of Twilight and then read the same chapter in Midnight Sun. It just felt like it took forever to do it that way. Like I could have been done with Twilight hours ago. And of course, I mean, I would still have to read Midnight Sun, but I just don't think it was worth it because the dialogue, like when Edward and Bella are in the same scenes with each other, the dialogue's pretty much the same in both books, just like a little bit different wording on the narration side. but otherwise it's pretty much the same thing that happens. I mean, Midnight Sun does have a couple of different chapters where Edward and Bella are not together, of course, and you hear his side of what he's doing and all that, which is interesting. But when they are together, it's pretty much the same thing. So I just kind of like skimmed over those chapters because there just wasn't, I just wanted to get through it, and there wasn't a lot of difference other than the fact that it was just longer in Midnight Sun. It's almost 6 now. I'm going to take a little nap because I want to do an Instagram live at 7 and I don't want to now. Mostly just because I'm embarrassed about posting things where people that I know follow me and watch it. It's weird. I'm not used to that. I liked when my channel was not known to friends and family. I don't even know if people are gonna come to the live because it is kind of at a crappy time that I set it at. Because it's technically at the halfway mark. I started at 7 p.m. and I'm gonna do the Instagram live at 7 a.m. Probably just gonna do it for like 20 to 30 minutes maybe. See if anyone even like shows up. It's like 10 p.m. in Oregon then. So who knows? But I'm gonna turn off some lights. I think I'm just gonna sleep on the couch for a little bit. And then set an alarm for just like a couple of minutes before 7 and then do it. So that's that. Oh wait, I wanted to, hold on, let me go grab the thing for the next book. Okay, they're all in here. I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm just gonna reach on in there. I'm kind of praying for a short book because I don't know if I can handle a long book again. We have In the Time We Lost. I think this is like a 300-page book. That's okay. Let me go grab it. Okay, it's more of a 400-page book, but it looks really cute. It's like a cute winter contemporary. So now I'm done with my Twilight. I can go back into winter books now. And it's probably a love story. I don't know anything about it. It was at the library and I think I saw it somewhere on Goodreads. So I'll read this after Instagram Live. Alright, so I'm gonna take a nap now. Bye. Good morning. It is 20 past 7 in the morning. I slept for just like about an hour. And I felt like I had a pretty hard time falling asleep. But then once I was asleep, I think I hit deep sleep pretty quickly, but I can't tell. I dreamt for sure. That's not deep sleep. When I woke up, I was totally out of it. I was like, what is happening? Where am I? What is going on? And I just remember thinking, I don't want to do my Instagram live. I need to cancel it. I'm just gonna sleep more. I woke up and I felt relatively awake. My eyes don't feel like they're tired. Everything else about me does. Like when I set up Instagram Live, I looked at myself in the camera. I was like, what? I just felt like my face is so, I guess it doesn't look that bad anymore, but I just felt like it looked so puffy and tired. Because it is. I don't really remember why. Well, okay, I do remember why. So I wanted to do an Instagram Live in the hopes that people who told me on Instagram they would want to do the readathon with me could join me and we could just chat a little bit about what books we're reading, how far we've gotten, blah blah blah. But then like 10 minutes in, only 2 people joined. And they weren't necessarily the people that were gonna do the readathon with me, so, but that's okay. And I know that I'm totally loopy right now. My mouth is dry. I need to drink some more water, but I have started reading the next book. In the Time We Lost by Carrie Hope Fletcher. It's a love story, a romance, but it's back to a winter theme, so I'm glad about that. And I'm only on page 6. I always find starting books extremely tedious. Like, it's so hard for me to get into a world. But I mean, obviously, once you're like 50, 60 pages in, then everything's fine and you do start to enjoy the book. But like, reading those 50 or 60 pages to get into it is hard for me. Because you're like, okay, who's the main character? What's their name? What's their deal? Who are these other people? What is this book about? What is the direction we're going in? So I'm still discovering things. But I was like contemplating whether I wanted, after I ended this Instagram live, if I was just going to fall back asleep, or I was going to read for a little bit, or if I'm just going to keep reading for however long. It's still dark outside, but it was really cozy. Guess who's still looking like a hot mess? It is now 12:20, and I'm currently on page 127 of In the Time We Lost, and I'm actually starting to like this book more than I thought I would at first. And it's kind of like a different sort of retelling of the movie Big with Tom Hanks and Groundhog Day. And it was so weird because like the thought of like it being similar to Big was already in my brain, and then it was mentioned in like this last chapter that I read. I was like, oh my gosh. It's not actually set in wintertime, however it's set in July, but there's like this weird mysterious snowstorm, so it does kind of still give you holiday feels, I guess. I feel like I'm sick. Like my skin feels warm, and I don't know, I just like don't feel like I'm myself. It just doesn't feel like a normal day kind of a thing. Because after I did the live, I read until about 8:15, and then I slept until about 10. So I'm only running on about just shy of 3 hours sleep, which is fine with me because I didn't want to like do a full night's sleep anyways, because I did want to read as much as possible. But it's kind of surprising to me now how quickly the time has gone, because now I only have like less than 7 hours left, and I want to finish this book and then get another book in if possible, but we'll see. But first I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to take a shower because this isn't working anymore, and then eat something, and then get back to reading. I am on the second to last page of this freaking book, and one sentence has just like ruined this ending for me completely. Like, I don't even know if I want to keep like reading. Like, I don't want to read that because one sentence here ruined it. I'd say I'm rarely emotionally involved in books, but this story was like, oh, I'll just do a short review. So I'll try not to do spoilers, but if you don't want to hear anything about this book, just skip over this. So this book was definitely a roller coaster in whatever it is. So just, I mean, you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but when you look at this cover, you're like, oh, a contemporary romance, all for it. And it does kind of like, you can see like, oh, it's coming of age and like trying to find her place, and oh, she meets a man, of course they're gonna come together and all that stuff. And then like, you start to realize, as I mentioned, like with the Groundhog Day and stuff, like, oh, okay, there's a little twist to the story. And then you get a little bit further and you're like, oh, this is like a full-blown thriller mystery. Like, this is not romance. I mean, there's a hint of romance added in, but I wouldn't say it's a romance novel. And then we get to the ending where it's like movie stuff. Like, this could legit be made into a movie. It kind of reminds me of, there's like a Stephen King movie. I can't remember, or not movie, a Stephen King book that was also adapted into a movie. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like, well, I mean, it's kind of different. There's like a lot of snow and people are kind of trapped in a building, and Satan is there, but that's a completely different storyline. But just like the snow kind of, or just like the vibe reminded me of this. So, well, this reminded me of that. And then we got to the ending, like epilogue ending, or the chapter before that. And I was not digging the ending. I was like, this sucks. Like, I was ready to give this like probably a 3-star rating. And then it got better. I was like, yes, redemption. And then I hit this freaking sentence. And I can't get over it. Like, I don't know if it's like even worth it for me to finish reading this like last page. I don't know what I want to do. Because it just like sucks my soul out. Why am I so emotionally invested into this story? I don't know. But I'll just finish it because obviously it can't get worse. So let me just finish this real quick. Oh my gosh. It's done it. It's broken me. Oh my lord. I don't know if I want to give it a 5 stars. I mean, I think it deserves 5 stars just because of how much it's affecting me. But I kind of hate the ending because it's not what I would have wished for. I mean, I kind of get it, and it's a well-written ending. It's nothing you would have expected, but it just like sucks for me. I mean, it's beautiful. I don't even know, there's no word to describe what this ending is. It's beautiful in a sense, but it's horrible in another sense. Is there a word for that? Yeah, I didn't think this book was gonna like do it for me, but hey, it did. And it is not, well, it is not what this cover makes it look to be. I'm just kind of mind blown. Anyways, it's 6 o'clock now, so there's like technically 1 hour left to this readathon. I obviously will not be able to finish another book, except for one, the comic book, which I'll probably grab right now. I'll grab and read the comic book because it's short and I can read that quick. And then I think, even though the readathon will be ending, I will still draw the next book that I want to read during this week or whenever, from the stocking. So maybe I'll just do that now since it's right here. Okie dokie. I'm sorry the lighting is so bad. I'm filming on my iPhone and it's dark outside. It's what it is. This is the comic book. Okay, well. Green Glass House. Yes. Okay, I'm actually really excited about that because I've had that from the library for a while now and I need to read it. And I'm really excited to read it because I've heard good things about it. And it's a middle grade So I'll finish up this video in the next clip. It is a couple of minutes before 7, but I'm gonna pretty much end it now because I just finished I Will Judge You by Your Bookshelf, and I thought it was a really cute comic about people who like to read and books, and also I thought it was mostly for people who like to write or writers. I'm not one of them, but I thought it was still a cute comic. Some things made me chuckle. I'm surprisingly awake for running on like 2.5 hours for the past 35 hours. I'll probably grab something to eat and hopefully go to bed soon. I might play a bit of Animal Crossing for a little bit and then head to bed. Anyways, I hope this video was somewhat interesting to you. I hope it wasn't too boring, because I didn't really do anything else other than actually just like read or sleep today. Which I mean is kind of cool. I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't get through as many books I would have hoped to get through. However, I'm just glad that I have Twilight behind me and those like thick books. Man, that took forever. But I'll start reading Green Glass House now, but I don't have to read that in 24 hours, so that's good. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.